In this video, we are going to cover our first two workflows, which will be our data preparation and feature engineering. The goal of these two workflows is to prepare our data before we move on to our exploratory data analysis and our modeling workflows. The reason we are doing feature engineering and data preparation first before exploratory data analysis is that we need to create some of the columns we want to explore. In this first workflow, our data preparation step, we will be first dropping the columns which are not needed, and then we'll be adding two new features or columns. We will be adding the water usage reason and the type of industry. Next, we will also convert our date fields into strings. Our string fields into date columns. This will make them easier to work with in the future so that we can extract all the necessary information from our date columns. In our next workflow, we are doing feature engineering. This is where we will compute the actual output column of our dataset. Our dataset has an abstract value for water production. However, we need to actually create this excess usage column, which will be the column that we'll be modeling later. To do this, we will first create a new column which will calculate the median value of our abstract water usage, and then we will use the case when node to then create a distinction and our final output column, excess usage. Next, we will also add two more columns for feature selection and correlation. This will give us an idea of which columns are most important and which ones can be removed in the future or not used for modeling. Finally, we will save to CSV so that we can use it in our next modeling step. Now let's take a look at the output of our workflows. The first values that we have in our workflows are the prepared or final dataset with the target value. Here at the end of the dataset, we now have a new column which has a binary value that represents whether on that day there was excess water usage. Next, we have our correlation between columns for feature selection. We can see that leakage, production water, and employee count are all extremely important for modeling. Next, we have our feature importance. This shows us which columns are most important when it comes to modeling, similar to how the correlation step works. In this one, the leakage and employee count are especially important, but notably, production water is much lower. This is because the two feature selection nodes use different methodologies for selecting features. Thank you for listening.